Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably enjoying your time with Crimson Desert, despite its flaws, most of which can be ignored. In my opinion, there's one fatal issue that is really difficult to look past, and that's the camera. I feel that it sits way too high and just interferes with doing anything in the world, including combat. And I'm not the only one. Over on Reddit, there's numerous posts talking about this problem, from it interfering with combat to constantly changing states. Some people do point out the fact that you can just click a button to change perspective, but that doesn't fix the issue. It still remains a problem, especially in combat. Steam isn't much different. There are numerous posts talking about this exact issue, and there hasn't been any talk from the developers about inputting some way in game to fix the camera. I'm not sure why, and hopefully they do in the future, but for now we have a mod. I'll get into the mod in just a second. I just want to quickly go through some things that are different with Crimson Desert, where a lot of games don't really touch on it. In Crimson Desert, various actions affect what the camera does. So if you break into a sprint and you're in sprint for a set amount of time, it will zoom the camera in slightly. If you jump, the camera will move and react accordingly. If you get too close to something, the camera will zoom in. But its biggest offense is sitting too high. Now, outside of combat, I can deal with it. Just here, as you can see, just walking through a city, it looks fine. It's still a little too high for my taste, but it doesn't really affect anything. Its biggest offense is 100% during combat. It's sometimes borderline unmanageable. I'll show you now. This isn't it. This is just a funny clip that I got while running up to my test spot for the combat. This is the kind of stuff I can overlook because it's funny. But let's quickly jump into our first combat scenario where you can really see how bad the camera can get. It's kind of an enclosed space, so the camera does like to freak out. As soon as you start getting close to anything, the camera zooms straight in. It doesn't zoom itself back out. It stays where it is. It will then randomly zoom back out whenever it feels like it, and then push back in. If it stayed exactly where it was, right here, I probably wouldn't mind, and I would just ignore it. But it randomly, here in a second, just decides to zoom straight back in. And now I can barely see what's going on. I can't see the finishes that are happening, and all in all, I just find it pretty annoying when I'm trying to fight a camera, especially in a game where you have to parry and do all sorts of crazy stuff, and I'm only at the beginning of the game right now. It gets worse. So, in the description is a link to the mod. Very simple to install. It gets updated quite frequently. The patch came out this morning and it was already updated. Just head over to the files page and click download. It's got a step-by-step instruction there if you want to see it, but I'm also going to go through it quickly here. So go ahead and download the file. After downloading the file, you'll be greeted to this set of folders. Just go ahead and go to your desktop, hit right click, go to new and create a new folder. You can call it anything you want. It doesn't really matter. After you've created the folder, just open it up and then just click and drag everything from that folder into the new one that you've just created. Go ahead and click the file shown on screen here, click run, and this is where you'll get a list of options. Now, you can customize this to your heart's content. It gives a description for essentially every single style of camera. I chose option 5 for the camera perspective because that's kind of just what I like after experimenting. And then for the FOV option, I chose FOV option 2. It zooms it out enough to where it still looks good, but not so much to the point where it creates any forms of distortion. And last but not least is Steadicam. I would turn this on 100%. This will keep everything consistent and keep the camera locked at a set distance. The only time it will change is if you're doing a finisher or using the focus to interact with the stuff. If you don't like it, you can always open the tool again, type R, and it will just reset you to default values. So let's see how much of a difference this makes. This is now with all the new settings applied and the exact same area that we were at before. As you can see, the only time it zooms in is during finishes. Outside of that, it is super consistent. I can see things running up behind me if I need to see them. And it just overall feels a lot better. And that's really it. For open world exploration, it doesn't make too much of a difference. For most people, I'm assuming that'll be the case. For me, it does make it more enjoyable regardless. And you can still do all the stuff that people like to do in this game, which is consistently switch to the first person mode to kind of take in the views when you're on top of a mountain or overlooking a vista, anything like that. You can still do it. It also has this very wide third person shot that you can use as well that comes default with all of them. So still great for open world exploration and just makes the game feel a lot better in general. As I said, the download link will be in the description below. If there's any issues that you run into, please let me know and I will do my best to help you down in the comments. And that's really it. I hope wherever you are, you have a fantastic day, evening or night, and I will see you all again very soon.